Y'all look, you know it's done got serious when the wife gets out here and starts helping you go through everything on the car. She's wanting to run next Saturday night is what it is. I told her, you want to run? Come on out here and help me get this car tore down. Kim and I took off, went up to Western KY Speedway, ran their Kentucky BlueGrass Race for street stocks. Got up there, looked at the track, kind of a paperclip, quarter-mile track on the bottom. It might have been up towards a third around the top. I don't think it's more than that. But anyway, but like tight corners and then a drag race straightaway. And I saw really quickly the way that the corners turned up and everything. I did not have enough spring on the right front, so I've got my setup I went with was my smoother dry slick setup, 550 on the right front, 650 on the left front. Went out there and ran. I had to go ahead and run the qualifying, and the 550 spring just wasn't enough. And I think that that's what happened here. There was the top surface of the track going into turn 3 was breaking away, and so it would drop off and then it would pick back up real sharp. And I think what happened there is I was going into the turn, I was blowing through my 550 rubber and all, and when I would drop down into that, when it would pick back up, I think I caught my nose and folded it under. So I'm learning here, this black, this is like 1/4 inch thick some type of a polyethylene product. But really thick stuff, but it folded it under. I didn't bolt this piece into the actual nose itself, and so the two were separate, and so that kind of went under in the nose and it separated from each other. I probably should have bolted this together to the nose. You don't know what you don't know, so I learned that. So I'm going to straighten all this out. I don't think I've tore up anything permanently, nothing like that. But I am going to have to get this straightened back out, and I think when I put it all back together, I'm going to bolt it up. And don't worry, I did change out the setup at the track on the fly. Wouldn't have been able to do that without a couple of guys helping me out. But anyway, I want to show you the video here of the qualifying laps. We were pretty slow. We were in like the back third, because I think we were in the 4th heat of 6, and we started like 6th out of like 8 cars. So we qualified fairly slow, which makes sense because I was just blowing right through my suspension and everything. But I have some in-car cam footage. I didn't get any other kind of footage because we were just so crushed for time. I just couldn't get the camera set up and get it done without Rachel there to help me. See, Rachel, I need you there to help me film this stuff. Anyway, check this video out and then we'll come back to this. off. Spun that around, fix that. Yeah. This is the cosmetic stuff. Let's talk about this right front over here. I had that 550 spring on during the qualifying. Of course, that wasn't working at all. Had a couple of guys that were there that I met, and they helped me out, and boy, I needed the help too. But anyway, I took and unhooked everything and threw this 750 in here. And the way I did it, I just took note of, with the car sitting under its own weight and everything, I took note of where I was at on the threads for my right front chain. And I didn't have my chain tight, I had my chain loose, okay? I'm learning. But anyway, I had my chain loose here, and I measured, and I had like a 1/4 inch gap here with it loose the way it was sitting. And then I turned around and we put the 750 in and then ran the weight jack back out until we got to that same point on the chain, or got close. And because we were guessing, I mean, we were rushing. Kim was sitting there watching, and like we were the 4th heat race. And so I was like, we were down under the car and adjusting on it and getting everything straight. And I was telling her, like, call them off as they're pulling out, because they were just clicking through them. And anyway, about time that the 3rd heat race went out, she was like, 3rd heat race went out. And I'm like, we're good, just bolt it up, let's go. So we got on there and ran, and we weren't bite-wise. I think that I had took some bite out of the car by just doing a hot switch at the track like that, really quick. We went out, ran the heat, and the car didn't seem free enough on entry, and anyway, and then turn around, and when I would pick up the throttle, I was really just skating. And so I ended up, I had a good line running up top for a couple of laps. I felt like that was working, and I was holding around 4th place, and I was trying to figure out how to move up to 3rd. How to like pick up, you know, how do I gain that speed that I need to run down that guy in 3rd place. Was doing pretty good. And then I turned around and let my right rear get over into the marbles right up against the wall. And I ended up getting into the wall. So I turned around and came back, thought I was okay, and then the next time around, I really got in the wall. I towed my car in, way in, got my front end all messed up, had a bent wheel going on over here, and so the setup at that point was just ruined. I think I dropped back to 5th at that point, and they were only taking like the top 3 out of the heat race. So I really just pickled myself there. So what do I say as far as this heat race I'm gonna show y'all? This is just, this is the driver running out of talent. You ever hear about the driver running out of talent? So I had several laps there, everything was looking good, and then I just ran out of talent, I guess is the only way I can explain it. So y'all check this out. So I stopped it from bottoming out. My O-ring, I hadn't moved that. That's where it was, so that was good. So the 750 was working on that track and everything, but had a couple people watching my car and then also me driving it too. And I took some bite out of the car when I swapped the springs out and everything. So what we did, and just did it on the fly, I had two things I had to do. And I took and I ran 2 rounds back into this weight jack, back down, because I felt like the car needed to get some more bite into it. So just swapping that spring out of the track, you know, that's not an exact science. And so didn't have the bite right, put 2 more rounds back into it right here. And then I ended up, I was towed in quite a bit, and I did not have time. It was just boom, 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 because I was going to a B main, and that was coming up like within 10 minutes. So I take my tow plates with me to the track. Didn't have time to put the tow plates on it or anything. I literally just grabbed some channel lock and I just spun the nuts loose on this side here on my tie rod end, and I just went to turning on it, and until I saw that I had some tow out back in my wheels. So coming up here on this B main, we're going to show the footage from, but you know, I had put some more bite back into the car, just adjustments on the fly. I got the tow out back in the car. I switched out the right rear tire, and I put a right rear on that was normally a steer tire that had a ton of sipes and lines running with the tread of the tire, not across it. Because the car, this track is black slick with no bite in it. Really struggling to get side bite. So I put a right rear on with a lot of sipes in it to try to get the car to not skate as bad on me and get it to hold and roll in the turn. And I really did feel like that I was getting the car where it needed to be, and that's what's so sad. By the time I got to the B main, I had a car that I really needed to have when I first went out qualifying, but that's the learning process. Here's my in-car cam footage from the B main. Of course, we didn't make the feature, and we're gonna end the video after that there, so I'm gonna be gone, so I'm gonna say it now. If you're not subscribed and you like this kind of stuff, then hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications when you'll know when we make a new video. Hit that thumbs up button if you're thumbs up for me. Leave a comment and see you next time. Well, let's get to the video.